guys, Black Scout. Today I want to do a video because this is very close to home. It's actually in the county that I live in. You know, I wanted to do this last week. This happened about a week ago, but you know, the Israel stuff kind of like took over the news feed, so we had to, you know, talk about those sort of things. But this is a crazy story. This is a crazy story, especially coming in from the county that I live in. We live in a very safe area, you know what I mean? These folks out here don't take too well to crime. Like they'll put a hurting on you out here, you know. So just the fact that this happened here is pretty mind-blowing, but I think it's a good story, a good teaching lesson. So essentially, a week ago on Monday morning, 5 a.m., husband and wife were in bed asleep when a 32-year-old man named Terrell Lights sneaks into the bedroom window. Keep your windows locked, you know. But then he goes over to the wife who's sleeping beside the husband, and he pulls down her undergarments and starts performing acts on her. And I'm not going to get into the details. You can look at the article, and I do encourage you to, because you're not going to believe what happened. Perform some acts on her, I guess, you know. Then he tried to do something else to her, and she woke up and why she did not wake up from this is beyond me. I have no understanding why that is. So basically, husband wakes up, then he tackles him and escorts him outside. Yeah, you heard that. He tackled him and then escorted him out. Wouldn't be no escorting, and be carrying out in a body bag if it was my house. But a few things here. As a woman, you need to understand that you could have someone that's like, you know, targeting you. Like why he targeted this couple, this woman, maybe saw her at the grocery store, maybe saw her at, you know, getting fast food or something like that. What happens a lot of times is that someone may find you attractive out in the streets, right? Then they begin following you. Now, something good to utilize is a technique called TED. I used to teach this many years ago on YouTube and stuff like that in classes. It's military acronym for time, environment, distance, and demeanor. And so what you do is time. You see someone multiple times a day or in a week or something like that, they could be trying to follow you, you know, figure out your patterns. Environment, you see them in multiple different environments. Let's say you're at a grocery store, then they're in the same, that you go to a department store next and they're at the department store. They're in different environments that you're in. Distance, let's say it's 30 miles over, you see them again. Hour later, you drove an hour away, you know, you see them again. And then demeanor, how they carry themselves. Are they looking at you? Are they paying a lot of attention to you? These sort of things. So TEDD, right? Something good to put in your memory bank just so you have it there. So the other thing is obviously having an alarm system. That way the window goes up, you get alerted, you know bad guys in the house. You have a dog. I mean, multiple things you can do there. Lights around the windows, around the bedroom, deter people from coming in there. But now that's, you know, that's home security. Now, what about defense? So defense situation, obviously a firearm, keeping a firearm with you. Now, in a situation in close proximity like that, I have a loved one there, I probably would prefer a bladed weapon, right? Like something like our street pick. And the reason why I like the street pick and the way I designed it is it's similar to a karambit. It's like a shank style knife, but it can be index. So index is a fancy term for figuring out the direction of something without looking at it, right? So I know, because this is the way that it wraps, this is the bladed portion out, I can index it and get the knife out. It's a shank. And in a wrestling match, I would much rather have a bladed weapon than I would a gun, okay? So, you know, having a blade, a lot of people think about putting a gun beside their bed, but they don't think about putting a bladed weapon beside their bed. I definitely recommend a bladed weapon. You can get one of these from us. You can get plenty of other knives from other people as well. So the street pick, something I highly recommend, very lethal. And a lot of people think that a knife is less lethal than a gun for some reason. No, they're just as lethal. And depending on the situation, I say more lethal. You know, a lot of people do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and I think Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is great to know to a certain degree. I think a lot of people that only do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu gets a false sense of reality, because out in the street, you know, of course they train a little bit on how to, you know, disarm a knife, but trying that in a real world where a guy on meth is really trying to F you up with a blade is a whole lot different than someone doing it in the dojo, okay? So I would not want to grapple someone with a blade unless I was the guy with the blade, okay? In a grappling situation, a gun, I wouldn't really want a gun. It can be utilized, and if you know what you're doing, you can utilize it well. But I would rather have a blade. So anyway, have a blade beside the bed, have a gun beside the bed, have a security system, have a dog, these sort of things. You know, put these, and remember Ted, to make sure that no one is following you, trying to set you up, trying to ambush you. You know, maybe you're, you know, a lady's, some psycho stalker trying to figure out your routine so they can attack you later on. So these are things that you really need to think about. But I wanted to share this story because one, it's wild. Go read it. So I don't want to put the details here because kids watch me. But she didn't wake up. And then obviously just a refresher of the things that we need to be doing. And then TED, time, environment, distance, and demeanor. Anyhow, guys, thanks for tuning in. And remember to stay frosty, stay strapped, stay bladed, stay dangerous. Take care.